All right, we'll go ahead and get started with the March 2025 Ttcda meeting. I believe we do have a quorum today. Thank you, commissioners, for being here. First up, approval of the minutes. Hopefully everybody got a copy, and I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, first up, Knox Audiology 3-A-25-TOS. If we can get a staff report, please.
This is a request to replace one building sign for a storefront located in the Village at Hardin Valley Shopping Center. The proposed sign is for Knox Audiology. The surrounding area features a mix of commercial, office, and residential uses. Pellissippi State Community College is nearby to the north. The property is zoned planned commercial and technology overlay. The proposed signage consists of the company name and individual aluminum channel lettering that would be directly mounted onto the building facade via raceway. The lettering would have matte white acrylic faces that are internally illuminated with LED lighting, and the raceway would be painted to match the building facade. The sign would be placed above the storefront entrance and would not protrude above the height of the building. The area of the signage is 22 square feet, which is within the 23 square foot maximum allowed based on the tenant's linear frontage of 23 feet. The proposed sign is consistent with the other storefront signs in the shopping center. Staff recommends approval of a certificate of appropriateness for a sign permit for the proposed building sign, subject to one condition, meeting all relevant requirements of the Knox County zoning ordinance as appropriate.
All right, thank you. Any questions for staff? All right, is there anyone here for the applicants? Don't need to speak, but if you, okay.
It looks pretty cut and dry, so I will go ahead and make a motion to approve per staff recommendation.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, on to other business. I'll turn it over to staff.
Got some administrative approvals.
Yeah.
Okay, so this request is to revise the previously approved plans for a 318-unit multifamily development on Lovell Road and Cornerstone Drive. This will be the third administrative approval. Previous approvals included building plans, landscaping, and more detailed areas for the amenities. The conditions attached to the original approval still apply. So this property is zoned office, medical, and related services with a technology overlay. So work has been underway for some of the project. The specific changes are circled in red on the plan, and it includes adding some sidewalks around the multifamily buildings and kind of just creating a different direction that was there before. So it's not really changing any impervious surface area or anything, just more direct routes that was previously on there. And some of the interior sidewalks that are more like artsy designed rather than straight lines. So just a little bit slight changes there with the sidewalks. They added sidewalk curbs around the car wash and garage area that previously didn't have any sidewalks. And then they included some stamped concrete in some of the areas by the community building, which I can't get the point. Oh, no. I'm trying to get the pointer back on here. Oh, wait, here we go. So this is the pool right here, and then this is the community building. So just adding some detailed designs, this stamped concrete of choice. And once again, this is the pool area, and then this is one of the interior amenity areas. They added a bocce ball court. And the other change was around the townhomes on the site plan. They changed the landscaping. They added willow oak trees. They replaced those, they were red buds. And then these little blue stem grasses were replaced for laripe grass. And a COA was issued on March 6th. And the other administrative review, the applicant wanted to revise a previously approved building, or they had landscaping and building plans, and this was an office building at Mayberry Hood Road and Dutchtown Road. This is the first administrative approval. This is the aerial. Property is zoned office park and technology overlay. This property is actually within the city of Knoxville. So the applicant wanted to reduce the building from 3 tenant spaces to 2. So essentially, all 3 of these were around the same size, so they just lost the space that was here, just reducing the size. So from reducing the size of the building, they also ended up reducing the parking spaces from 50 spaces to 30 spaces. And this one, previously, they had gone over their parking maximum, and we allowed that because they had 11 pervious spaces. And so now it's just showing 30 is the maximum allowed, and it's all asphalt spaces. But, so the building facade is the exact same. It's just a shorter building, so it's basically missing what was here and what was there. But the materials haven't changed. And then as for the landscaping, it's also nearly the same. There's the stream that runs along here. They've still got the required buffers. They're retaining that existing landscaping that was there. And the rest of the site was largely graded already, but they still have pretty much the same amount of trees, but since the parking used to go all the way out to here, so they had it kind of curbed out to here, but they've reduced it, and so this area is just going to be just seeded lawn, but same landscaping otherwise. And COA was issued on February 18th.
All right. Any questions for staff?
Just, Mr. Chair, just to clarify, so we just heard the next 2 staff reports, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we weren't going to hear one and then vote, or
Yeah,
these
we
just, this is
technically-
administrative?
They're administrative, so we
yeah,
don't actually
okay.
vote on them, so.
Just point of clarification, thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you, staff, appreciate that. The amendments to the bylaws, is that something?
Yeah, so. I do not have a presentation prepared for that, but just to kind of walk you through real quickly, most of it was just housekeeping changes to kind of reflect how we currently run the board, and some of it was to more closely align, like bylaws are supposed to be meeting specific, so removing anything in there that was not meeting specific, that was already in the administrative rules. And then we had a request from the Knox County Rules Committee to add some verbiage in there around ethics and attendance, and so that's been added so that now people who are going to be, members who are going to be absent need to notify you, the chair, in advance.
Okay. Do we actually have the actual amendments? Do we vote on the actual amendments?
Yes.
When will we, next month? Or-
That was, I thought it was in the packet. Were they in the packet this month? Yeah.
I guess I would talk to the other commissioners to see whether or not they had an opportunity to review, and if they have or have not, whether or not we should postpone the vote until next month.
We can always go through it line item by
So,
line item.
so
if
the
needed.
letter that you all received was actually from me, from the Rules Committee. This is something that we were just doing some housekeeping as well and realized that all county-affiliated boards and committees were not required to have an ethics policy or an attendance policy, and we felt that that was very important in order to conduct business. And so we voted on the Rules Committee to ask all committees and boards to, if you did not have bylaws that stated an ethics policy or an attendance policy, to please adopt the Knox County ethics policy and attendance policy. So that's really what it's all about. We're just trying to make sure that all county-affiliated boards and committees follow the same standards of practice for conducting business.
All right, thank you for the clarification.
That makes a lot of sense. I don't know why my mic's not working.
Your voice carries.
I suppose I would like to have, unless you all have looked at it, I would like to look at it, and then we can vote on it next month. Is that something we can propose to do? If everyone else has looked at it, I can.
We can either go through it line item by line item today for you all to vote, or we can vote on it next month. It's not extensive, so it wouldn't, I don't think it would take very long. It's up to you, however you want to do it.
I'm okay doing that too, and maybe we can do it in an expedited fashion. We're not
Sure.
here for very long.
So take us through it, please.
Sure. Let me get
Quickly?
just the cord. Thank you. Okay, so the bylaws are pretty much a very short document, so hopefully this won't take long. But some of the housekeeping issues, some of these items had titles and tags behind them and some didn't, so just adding those where they were not present to be consistent throughout the document. So you'll see that. So Section 1 is named Adoption, and then Section 2, Objectives. There's no changes to the text within that. Again, just adding that tag. Did the same thing for Article 3, Election of Officers. So this Section 1 was regarding officer nominations. It has that tag. Section 2 is regarding the vote, and again, no verbiage changed regarding the specific criteria within there. So Section 3, Annual Meetings, this did change a little bit. So now it says the annual meeting of the authority shall be held following the regular meeting in September of each year at a place designated by the chairman. Before that, it said on the second Monday. Ttcda doesn't always meet on the second Monday, so it always is the Monday prior to the Planning Commission meeting, so that just kind of cleans that up a little bit. This is regarding what is heard at the annual meeting, so we added the approval of the schedule of fees and the meeting dates for the upcoming term. That's required in the administrative rules and procedures, so just adding that to the meeting agenda here within the bylaws. We do not have a work plan and a budget within the Ttcda. The Ttcda doesn't have any sorts of funds associated with it, so just removing that language. And then you also have no ad hoc or standing committees, so removing that language. It never has through my tenure here. I don't know if it did at one point when it was first created, or if that just was the intent and it was never followed through on. For Section 4 and Section 5, again, adding those tags. So one is around the quorum and the next one is around the minutes. Section 6, there's some changes here. So adding open meetings as the intro. It states all meetings which are convened in order to make a decision or to deliberate towards a decision on any matter shall be an open meeting in accordance with the provisions set forth in state law. And just kind of citing that state law, whereas before it said all meetings at which official action is taken shall be open to the general public. So just being a little more specific on where that comes from within state law. And Section 7 is the attendance. Each authority member is required to inform the chair in anticipation of an absence, including the reasons for the absence. The chair has the discretion to determine if an absence is excused or unexcused. Any authority member who fails to attend 75% of meetings in any 12-month period may be asked to resign by the chair, and upon resignation shall be replaced following the process set forth in the governing attendance. So if you miss more than 3 meetings within a year. The next one is regarding regular hearings, and this language was just changed to reflect what you all have voted for in the administrative rules and procedures. So that was a more current version of this. So now it just says simply, the monthly public meeting of the TTCA board shall be conducted in the order of the meeting agenda, which shall be prepared in advance and approved by the board at the monthly meeting. So it's not kind of taking into all these specific things, it just kind of boils it down into one sentence. And it also gives freedom to kind of change up the agenda if you all want to. Rules of order, so discussion and debate. This is something you all have seen and voted on before. This was taken verbatim from the administrative rules and procedures. I think the last time that was updated was maybe October of it's either 23 or 24. But so this just calls into, how you all do discussion and the debate, and that's not, again, nothing changed. So it's just staff recommendation, followed by the applicant's comments if they have any opposition's comments, discussion among you all, motion, a second, further discussion if necessary, and then a vote. Public participation shall be conducted in conformity with the following. So applicants shall be limited to no more than 5 minutes. Same with opposition. Speakers must limit their remarks to the facts of the case and should avoid repeating comments that have previously presented to the board, and any group wishing to speak should elect a spokesperson. Wow, I can't talk. Article 8, under hearings, again, a tag was added there. That's about discretionary hearings. Section 2 was something that was already covered in administrative rules and procedures regarding the newspaper notice, and since that's not about the business conducted in the meeting, we took it out to remain there. New Section 2, previously Section 3, we added the tag for case presentation and then made it clear that it was authority staff instead of the secretary that has the privilege of the floor. And authority staff meaning all of us, basically, so whoever the planner is presenting on the case. And then the time allotment for each case, that is based on presentations to the authority, public comments, applicant comments, and you all's discussion. So that can be determined by the chair. So if you feel like it's gone on long enough, you have the ability to kind of rein it in. And then a speaker list, that's just saying, again, we already do that. A record would be kept of those speaking, but it's just adding that tag. And then the following that is just adding the amendment date. So that's pretty much the changes, but I'm happy to answer any questions you all may have. Oh, yeah. We'll change that to March 10th. Sorry about that.
Okay. No more discussion. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Do it. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. All right. Anything else? We are adjourned. Thank you.